Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live Facebook, soon to be a Doctor is In podcast. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll wait as usual to say hello. Anne, Kevin, Debbie, Bernice, Mike from Wawa, Andrea, and I'm assuming Jerry from New Brunswick, Nativity and Jeanette, good morning. John from Elgin, Illinois, Brianna, Francis, Regina, Keith, good morning to you, Keith. How are you? How's things in the Windsor area? Laura, Pat, Samuel, good morning to you. Good to have you on with us this morning. Jerry says yes, he is watching. Jeanette, how are you? And Cynthia, and Meredith, and Linda. Good morning to you guys. Great to have you on. Margaret, good morning. We're going to talk about the natural flu shot. Okay, so that's our topic today. Pauline, Nick, good morning. Vicky, and Sari, and Wendy. Diane from Defiance, Missouri. I'm very defiant. Donna, good to have you on. Joanne and Pauline. Rebecca, good morning to you. Another Margaret and Judy and Annette from New Brunswick. Lee, dear friend of ours from Sudbury here. And Karina. And you guys are great. Mary and Erica, Francine. Okay, guys, I love you. Louise, I know I'm going to miss some people, so I don't like doing that, but Charles and Margaret, thanks for coming on. Here we go. Lori. Okay, got to get going. We're going to talk about the natural flu shot here this morning, okay? So buckle up. Here we go. Now, I don't know. I don't want to put these in necessarily in order, but I got to emphasize this, okay? I think it's important to understand this. You cannot undo a bad diet. You can't undo it. You can take all the supplements in the world, but if you got a bad diet full of sugar, maybe tomorrow, although I wanted to talk about sleep, but a new study out comparing 3 countries and their sugar intake. It's scary. It's scary. But as I've often reminded you and remind you again, see that microscope back there? Yeah. Okay. It's amazing what you can see under a microscope, okay? It's amazing. And I used to show patients this, that, you take a little drop of blood and watch it. It's still alive. It stays alive for, a little while. And I used to love, it was like, I called it the oh wow moments, okay? And that is when you saw the activity of white blood cells. And, you look at white blood cells and you go, oh my word, like, aren't they smart? Really fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay. You look in the microscope, you go, oh, wow. Look at how your immune system works, because, we would often see a parasite, either bacterial or whatever. And you literally could watch, you didn't always get a good show, but some days you got a tremendous show. And you would watch white blood cells surround the parasite, chase them. Listen, I think you can actually Google that if you want. And watch a white blood cell literally chase a bug. It's like they're getting chased by the police. And it was amazing to watch. It was kind of fun, you know? And I never got tired of watching that because I just would explain to the patient, listen, look at your white blood cells do. And then I would tell them, look, when you take a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of it, the white blood cells go to sleep. Now, studies have been done on that. They literally would just fall asleep right in front of you. And the reminder is, one thing you have to do in the flu season, and this is what's coming now. You know, it's amazing how the flu season, right, is really goes by the climate. We don't see the sun. You know, and this is what's happening. Much darker days, and it's the way it is. So if you do nothing else, cut the sugars out. Cut sugar out. It's a great step to boosting your immune system, because sugar puts white blood cells to sleep. Okay? So that's really important. Okay, so that's the diet. I mean, I'll come back to diet in a few minutes, because I'm going to talk to you about positive things in the diet. But the negative thing is, take sugar out of action. We often talk about that in cancer. And the PET scan. They give you a cup of sugar. Why? Because under the PET scan, that imaging, you take a cup of radioactive glucose and you light up like a Christmas tree if you have cancer, from your head to your toes. That's the fabulous PET scan. It's not for your pets. It's for you. It detects cancer like no other imaging. And I kind of got a chuckle. We got one here in our hometown, in a big cancer center that we have here, but it took us years to get that. The government bucked it. They didn't like it. It's expensive. But it's tremendous imaging. But you need cancer in it. You know, if you don't believe cancer feeds, sugar feeds cancer cells, I don't know what to say to you. You know? Some people I can't convince. Okay. I don't know what to say. So, eliminate sugar. This is the time of the year, I know. We just came through Canadian Thanksgiving, and American Thanksgiving is coming up, and, the treats and the sugary stuff, and I get it, folks. I understand we live on the planet, but you got to try and diminish that as much as you can. For the flu shot, the natural flu shot is eliminating sugar as much as possible. That's why I love the reset. There's no sugar at all. Okay, now, of course you knew what vitamin I was going to come up with first, right? So vitamin D, vitamin D, vitamin D. The darker your skin, the less vitamin D. I read a study, I don't know if it was yesterday or whatever, but showed that the African American population is 80% of them are low in vitamin D levels. You got darker skin, you need even more vitamin D. But 80% of the population, in my opinion, are low in vitamin D anyway. Because all your vitamin, I talked to a cancer patient and their doctor wouldn't do vitamin. I said, get your vitamin D levels. I'm very interested. I want it optimized. So find out for me what your vitamin D levels are. The doctor wouldn't do it. Said, you don't need that. Oh. Ooh. Because, and not all physicians are like that, but most physicians, all they think of is vitamin D is for your bones. Folks, that's 50, 60, 70 years old. Vitamin D is just for your bone. And I don't know what is it in this world that would not convince a doctor to find out what your vitamin D levels are? For heaven's sakes, the President of the United States of America, who are surrounded by, you would think, the best doctors in the world, when he got COVID, they gave him vitamin D. It's well established. Study after study after study, people that went into the ICU had low levels of vitamin D. It was a common denominator. Part of the flu shot is vitamin D. You need it. I'm going to tell you what I take. Me, personally, see this face? This is me, what I take. Between 8 and 12,000 IUs a day. This time of the year, for me. And I can't tell you for you. I'll tell you what the Vitamin D Council recommends. Minimum 8,000 IUs. That's the Vitamin D Council, what they recommend for the natural flu shot. And you might want to do the vitamin D whack-a-mole. Like if you feel like a cold's coming on, then, there's a lot of research on getting the vitamin D. I think my son said it right. They call it the vitamin D hammer. 20,000 to 50,000 IUs a day. I remember, I call him a colleague, he was an MD, alternative medicine MD, Dr. Rona in Tirana. And he did a study, personal clinical study. They allowed him to do it. I think it was in either the Toronto General or Western Hospital there in Toronto. People that were on the ventilators with pneumonia. And he showed in a 7-day period, he would give them 50,000 IUs of vitamin D a day for 7 days. And I think I'm quoting this study properly because I was at the lecture when he gave it. 10 got the vitamin D, a 50,000 hammer a day for 7 days, and 10 on the ventilators that didn't get it. And the 10 that got it completely recovered within 7 days. That's a hammer. 50,000 IUs a day. So, there's a lot to be said for vitamin D. And remember what vitamin D does. Your body is a human solar panel. I say it. But every cell in your body has a receptor. Every cell in your body has a receptor. A little antenna. Woo-hoo-hoo. And it says, I need vitamin D. It's looking for it. Your T cells, your Navy SEALs of your immune system do not work properly without vitamin D. You need vitamin D. Now, when you have eggs, meat, and cheese, you get some vitamin D in there. Did you know that? You see, D2, vitamin D2, is in the plant kingdom. D3, which your body needs, is in eggs, meat, and cheese. Now, I recommend, and again, I'm just telling you me, I recommend you supplement with vitamin D. Unless you live in Florida. Even then. Ooh, my Florida friends, listen. You're scared of the sun. I've never seen anything like it. Us Canadians, the border is closed. We can't drive down to Florida. What did I say last year in Corona? Put us on a cargo planes and put us into the sun. And they're finally getting it. They gave the President of the United States vitamin D. I would be very interested to know what his blood work was. You know, how much vitamin D did he actually have in his bloodstream? I'd be fascinated to know that. But if he's like the rest of the American population and Canadian, we'd be even worse. Now remember how they came up with this originally. You know what it was, guys? With MS. If you lived at a certain parallel and above it, okay, for those who don't know where I live, where Sudbury is, okay? To my American friends and all around the world, you go, where's Sudbury? Okay. Santa Claus lives up here, the North Pole. Come a little bit farther south, that's where Sudbury is. North Pole, Sudbury. It's beautiful, by the way. And I'm originally from Timmins. There's the North Pole, Timmins, then Sudbury. And the only people that live between Timmins and Sudbury are moose and bear. That's it. Do you think we live north? Yep. Only Santa Claus is north of us. Okay? So guys, what they found out with MS is that people had the lowest levels of vitamin D in the northern hemisphere had the biggest chance of getting MS, autoimmune. Must be a big factor. I preached about that 30, 40 years ago. The importance of vitamin D, even in autoimmune. And guess where MS is now found? Florida. Why? 2 plus 2 is still 4, guys. Add it up. Oh, Johnson & Johnson, don't go in the sun. It's going to give you skin cancer. It's bad for you. And the whole world went hook, line, and sinker. They took it. They swallowed the bait. And they made the sun the boogeyman. And guess what? MS now is in the southern hemisphere. Yep. MS is in the southern hemisphere. And so is low immunity. Because people, you got a vitamin. It's a hormone. It's not really a vitamin, but doesn't matter. We call it vitamin D. It's the sun. I told you, if I could get into every senior home, you would think with COVID, I know I'm getting off topic. I guess it's not off topic, but I'm going to rant for a minute, please. You would think the government, and I understand, I get it, I know what they're doing. But you would think the government of Canada and the United States would put their little noggins to use and start distributing vitamin D to everybody, especially to our seniors. Give it to them. It's inexpensive. And you would think they'd do it. No, you know what they're looking for? A vaccine. You want to know how the pharmaceutical companies run the world? You will see it with COVID. Now, am I against the vaccine? You're not going to get me to say that. I'm not. I'm not saying it. You want to take it? It's like the flu shot. Don't ask me. I'm not commenting on the flu shot that you get at the pharmacy or your doctor's office. Hey, you want it? Go for it. I mean it. I'm talking about what we know, natural. 100% is vitamin D. And vitamin D from the sun is better than even the supplement is. It is. But good luck with that. Well, where I am. And my Floridian friends, if I could only convince you, take the seniors and, they don't have to be butt naked, but put them out in the sun. And get in the sun. And undo the misinformation about skin cancer. And don't burn. I didn't tell you to go burn in the sun. And don't put sunscreen on because you're not getting vitamin D. Ooh. Eliminate sugar. Get vitamin D. Right? What's number 2 on the hit parade? Oil of oregano. Oil of oregano. I love oil of oregano. To the makers of oil of oregano out there, the manufacturers, you owe me money. Send me check. Because I give you advertising all the time. Everybody, silver. Yeah, silver's good. Oil of oregano is better. What's antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, antioxidant? I love oil of oregano. I just never seen anything better. At the first sign of a bug, you make sure you take it. I mean it. It is good for, you name it. And it don't kill your good guys. You see, in nature, it's a natural antibiotic and antiviral. It don't kill your good bacteria. I know people at the health food store, everyone, well, don't take it, because it, you don't want it because it kills your good. No, it doesn't. It knows the difference. Because God made oil of oregano. Man-made antibiotic. And look, guys, please don't come after me. You know me and antibiotics. The greatest discovery of the 20th century were antibiotics. They have saved millions upon millions of people's lives. So please, don't get the information wrong that I'm against antibiotics. I'm absolutely not. But we're talking about the flu, and that is viral. And I like oil of oregano because it's antiviral and it's antibacterial. Got it? Number 2. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of foods, or you can get it in food. Vitamin A, we talked about it yesterday. It's the invisible mask. Nothing protects. You know, I watched Joe Biden yesterday, okay? And he touches his mask. And actually, he just forgot, and I don't blame him. He coughed, so he took his mask down and into his hands, and then he put his mask back on. Guys, I don't know how you're never going to touch your face. I just don't know how you do it. Good for you if you can do it. I'm always playing with my face. You know, I think it's his beard. I don't know. I think I always did. Something for my hands to do. I don't know. I'm French, so I usually talk with my hands. And I think if I do this, it helps. No, but listen, guys. The best mask is vitamin A. Nobody talked about it with the COVID. I was surprised. In the third world, here's just my opinion, because I can't say for 100% for sure. But in Africa, they didn't get COVID. Hardly at all. It's shocking you would think in Africa, COVID would have gone crazy. Well, one maybe is the sun. I'm sure of it. The other one is vitamin A. They take vitamin A. It's one of their vitamins that the kids are given there and whatever. I love vitamin A. Now, I would rather, look, this is me, and, understand where I'm coming from. There's some things you can eat for your immune system, obviously. One of them, in my opinion, is vitamin A. Now, I give vitamin A to some people when I'm very suspicious that they're low. We developed a product called Blood Boost. I got vitamin A in there, the best vitamin A. And I'm big on vitamin A if you need it. If you're a vegetarian, if you're a vegan, I love you. Honest, I do. I don't agree with it, but I still love you. You need vitamin A. Carrots won't do. Carrots are not vitamin A. They're a precursor. They're beta-carotene. I get it. But for your immune system, you need vitamin A. You need eggs, meat, and cheese. That's how you find vitamin A in food. Plus another one. Zinc. Now, zinc really got a lot of ink. How many people really, be honest, ever thought of zinc before COVID? And part of the treatment, giving that malarial drug, and they gave them zinc with it. I'm a big guy on eating zinc. Again, I put it in my Blood Boost. A lot of people don't eat right, or a lot of people don't absorb things properly. And I get that. I understand that. And they're vegetable eaters, and they like that. And, oh, Doc, I don't like meat. Oh, I feel sorry for you. But that's all right. If that's the way it is, you've got to supplement. You have to supplement. You've got to. You're not getting it in food. Don't fool yourself. And I know you go online and you read, oh, it's complete the plants. And no, it isn't. It isn't. So I'm big on eating steak, vitamin S, because it's got vitamin A, and it's got vitamin D, and it's got vitamin zinc in food. I know. But that's part of your flu shot. I want you to eat vitamin S, steak. There's nothing like it. Okay, liver, but I don't like liver. Aren't you glad you know me? Because if you don't like liver like me, well, at least I say it. It's fantastic for you. It is. I just don't like it. I'd rather have a steak. I'm sorry. Hamburger's good. It's the bun that'll kill you. Roast beef is fantastic. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. So that's what you do for your immune system. Okay? So here's another one that's very important for your immune system. And a lot of people have trouble. 70% of the population estimated. Get your sleep. You miss a night's sleep, it'll decrease it puts your white blood cell activity to bed. Your white blood cells go to sleep, but you don't. All the repair and all that, but your immune system needs sleep. And once again, and I'll go over this, okay, because we're going to do a session on sleep again. Like I was saying to you, I think yesterday, that vitamin S, sleep, our steak. Vitamin R is rest, is what I classify it as, because vitamin S is taken already. It's steak. But you need rest, because that's when you reboot your immune system. If you don't sleep during the day, at night, you don't get your real good sleep, please get a power nap. It'll recharge your batteries and recharge your immune system. Proven. Okay? So vitamin R, rest. It's important for your immune system. It's part of the flu shot. Part of the flu shot. Now, I want to tell you what I do. Very important. Very important in my opinion. I love Navitol as part of the flu shot. Now, why do I do that? Why do I like it? Because it elevates, well, there's 3 reasons, but I just want to tell you immunity, okay? When you know what nitric oxide is? Nitric oxide is a compound. The guy who discovered it in 1980. So you can imagine, go back to my 1974 graduation. I didn't even know what nitric oxide was. Now, you know what was around as a medicine? Was nitroglycerin, dynamite. Right? How many people were using a nitro pill, even in the 70s? If you had angina, what did that do? You took a nitro, you were getting an angina attack, right? And you would take nitro, and what does that do? Whoop! Explosion in the blood vessels. Your blood vessels would relax. Now the blood would rush to your heart. That's how nitro works. Now they use it in the patches even. But in 1980, they found out that your body is unbelievable. It already has nitric oxide. As you get older, your nitric oxide goes down. And by the way, when you are low in B12, You don't make nitric oxide. Yeah, it's one of the biggest factors. See why I'm so big on vitamin B12? It really is part of the immune system. Because nitric oxide, what it does, not only good for your heart, it relaxes the blood vessels. They relax. Now blood flows through. But what is blood, guys? Think. What is blood? It's a river. The life of the flesh is in the blood. What does blood bring you? You know this. Oxygen. Yep, that's important. Everybody knows that. But what people don't think of so much is nutrients. So the higher your nitric oxide is, whoop, blood is flowing, full of nutrients. Every cell in your body needs those nutrients. It's why B12 is such an important vitamin. Unlike all the other B vitamins, B12 elevates your nitric oxide. So does Navitol. And the more, listen to this, the higher your nitric oxide levels are, the more you have circulating glutathione. Now, what's glutathione? It's Velcro that takes out impurities, which super boost your immune system. I don't particularly like glutathione orally. I never found it to be effective. But I like it when you boost it. B12 boosts glutathione, so does Navitol. It's part of my regime of supplements. Now, B12, I read somebody's blood work even this morning, early this morning. They were extremely low in B12. It said normal on the blood work, but it was in the very low end. I hate that normal. It doesn't mean normal. You need optimized B12 levels. Otherwise, your B12 is not doing you much good. You see where I come from? Oh, wow, I'm late. I'm preaching here. Okay. Did I get it all that I wanted to talk about this morning? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so, come on. Come on. I had a senior moment. Probiotics. Of course, it's part of your immune system. It's part of everything. You need a good microbiome even to absorb your vitamin D and your vitamin A. So very important to have a good gut. You don't want to have leaky gut. Leaky gut is a diversion. It hurts your immune system. I can talk to you about cortisol too, because that diverts your immune system. That's why stress can be so hard on the immune system. But guys, probiotics I could have put up first there, right? Forgive me for being 68 years old. I like that in a way because I can use it as an excuse when I forget. Okay? So guys, that's your flu shot. Cut your sugars down. Vitamin D, vitamin A, and zinc. Eat it or supplement. I'd rather you eat it. Probiotics. I could have talked to you about, I'm sure there's people going to ask me the question, what about vitamin C? Yeah, drink your coffee. Drink your coffee. Absolutely. That's the best vitamin C. But anyway, I don't want to, I've gone past my time, but I don't want to just continuously preach on vitamin C in terms of on its own. I'm not big on that. I like the true vitamin C with a multitude of polyphenols. I add vitamin C to our Navitol. Much better when it's amongst all the rest of the polyphenols. Your body absorbs it better. I've proven that to thousands of patients over the years. But if you want to take vitamin C, I've got no problem with that on its own. But the real vitamin C is coffee. Okay, so thanks for watching. Share this with your family and friends, okay? And if you're not a member of the Martin Clinic private Facebook group, please join and invite your friends to join. We love that private group. And Friday will be question and answer Friday, so send your questions in, okay? So, God bless you. Have a great day. Love you guys.